So today, good morning, guys. A little bit of a talk with me Monday, I guess, but I'm doing it today because today apparently is National Granny Square Day. Or is it international? I don't know. I didn't look it up before I turned on the camera. And I, figured that today I could dedicate this day to working on this project. It's early in the morning on Monday. Today is the first day of school for Jordan. So we are up. He's not. We are. And I haven't eaten any breakfast, haven't drank any coffee. But I always miss I always miss National Granny Square Day. And last week, Two Bossy Knits, Bossy Knits, I don't know. She put up a thing. She was making a Granny Square project, and she said today, August the 15th, is National Granny Square Day, so I had a forewarning. So I had a plan. I was able to be ready for today, and I even was already making a Granny Square project, so I figured I would make a little video and talk to you guys. I hope you all are well. I hope you all are cool. If you are in a part of the world where it is summertime, a lot of us are experiencing some serious heat, and yeah, it's crazy. I mean, for us, it didn't even get hot until like right at the beginning of August, end of July. So, just when you're ready to wind down and look forward to the fall, it just amped up with the heat here. And even here where we live, close enough to the ocean to have a few degrees cooler, it's still hot. But my girlfriend and I, we went out to lunch on Friday, and she lives further east, and she came over my way to go out to lunch, and she was like, oh my gosh, this feels so much better. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's so hot. So everything is relative, but those of you who are in like Texas and where the temperatures are really going crazy, enjoy, because the wintertime will be here before you know it, and it'll be extremely cold and a lot of snow and super inconvenient. So I mean, not Texas, but like say if it's hot, I don't know if it's really hot in New York right now, but if you live in a place where you actually experience seasons, I guess we just need to enjoy, because winter is coming. Anyway, I'm excited for National Granny Square Day. I like making Granny Square. They are very easy and mindless, very vintage, very classic. I didn't even look up to see how old the Granny Square pattern is, but it endures, right? Like, no matter what, it does not go away. And it's a reason why. I mean, when you think about, I can do and chat at the same time. But in all fairness, I'm not looking at the camera, so that also helps. So, because when you're recording, FYI, and you have the camera in front of you, and you are trying to communicate to the family, to the community, you really need to look at the camera lens. Now, the camera lens on the phone is not when you are looking at yourself. So if you see videos where people don't seem to be looking at themselves, looking at you, that means they are looking at themselves in the camera. So in order to look at you, we have to look at the lens. And that is what I can't do and crochet at the same time, because I'm still a crocheter who, in general, I'm looking at my hands while I'm stitching, in general. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna try to put as much of this ball. Probably gonna put it's gonna take forever though, because this was almost a full skein. So maybe I'll do half of this and then change, and then come back and put some more of that in later. Because it's a lot. I don't really want to put. Maybe I'll put in 4 rounds of this, and then move on to that highlighter yellow color that I use for. It's a Red Heart Super Saver, and I made somebody a what was that? A Sailor Moon hat. And I still had a lot of that left because I needed more. I needed a ball and then some for it. So I had to have 2 balls, but I didn't need a lot of the second ball. So I do have a lot of that left. So I will put that in as the solid on this granny square. This big granny square blanket. Now this one, where you start and you just keep going, it's just a giant granny square blanket. I made one of these years and years ago. I'm pretty sure I have a Ravelry page for it, because back then I used to do Ravelry pages. I don't bother too much now with Ravelry pages. I pretty much use Ravelry to look up patterns and that kind of thing. I really don't make pages anymore because I'm doing, YouTube videos. I've got Instagram. I got Facebook. So, I post it everywhere, so no need of that. Anyway, yeah, it's a little bit of a chat for National Granny Square Day. But yeah, I made one of these. I think I called it Pink Lemonade because it was like a hot pink, a yellow, and a white. And I was in a knitting group at the time. And I was actually one of the young guns back then. Like, other than when I first joined the knitting group back then, I think it was called the Slip Stitchers of El Segundo. When I first joined, I was still in my 30s and late 30s, but I think I was still in my 30s. And even then, other than a 10-year-old girl who actually was at only one meeting with her mom and then they moved away, I was the youngest person in the room. Isn't that funny how you go from being the youngest person to being one of the oldest people? It's just funny. It's a blessing though, right? It's a blessing to have good health and still be breathing. And that's a pretty little corner there. Those little colors right in that little piece look a little bit fallish, right? Anyway, but yeah, and now if I went back to that group, I would dare say that some of those people who were there then are probably no longer with us. There were some older people, and then, or if they are, that would be shocking. I think what happened back then, I used to go every once in a while to a local yarn shop and do projects and sit and talk, and but I also did like stitch and pitch. The day you go to the baseball game and everybody in the audience is a stitcher of some sort. I did that with one of the yarn shops that used to be open back in the day. When the economy fell, a lot of the local yarn shops fell too. And only one of, the owner of the one I'm thinking of, she reopened. She now owns the Knitting Tree, but she was part owner of another knit shop called Amano Yarns back in the day. But Amano closed, and Amano was really close to me. But anyway, I would go every once in a while and hang out with other knitters. But I think that was well before knitters and crocheters. I was well before, it became on the online crafty community became really big. And so once I found the online, I think I just stopped going to the local yarn shops. I mean, one of the things is the things that I like to make, I would not make out of expensive hand-dyed yarns, right? I would not make amigurumi. I know there's some people who will, but I don't. I like all the colors of acrylic, and they really suit themselves to making amigurumi. For me, I like my amigurumi to be made with a fairly stiff yarn. I really don't want it to be that soft. So I really like acrylics for that. And then, you know, so going to the local yarn shops, I would buy things because I just felt like, you know, if I'm there, I need to support this shop. So whenever I go, I'm going to buy something. But I tend to not just hang out in the local yarn shop in general, even still. But I think once I found the online community, that was enough. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to chat a little bit while I made this. I still have a lot of time because I woke up super early. So I'm going to make some oatmeal, drink some coffee, and continue getting ready for this day. I actually don't even think I'm going to go with Jordan. Our tradition in the past, when he was in elementary, was that we would walk him to school on the first day. But his middle school is a little bit too far to walk and then come back and get your car and then go to work, that kind of thing. And I always neglect to kind of take the day off or whatever, or I forget. But, you know, now really with the pandemic really changed a lot of things. His first days of school, his 6th grade year was online. 2nd year, 7th grade, we did bring him in, but I think Steve says that he went. I don't remember him going. I just remember taking a picture and throwing Jordan out the car. So for his 8th grade year, Steve is going to drop him off. I am going to go to work, and but I will take his picture to commemorate the first day of 8th grade, which is his last year of middle school, guys. Unbelievably, he will be in high school next year. Anyway, middle school hasn't been bad. I mean, socially, actually, it's been really good for him socially. I think because of the pandemic, we were spared a lot of things. And I think also, again, I keep saying this, he's a boy, and he's actually super personable. So, you know, he likes people and people like him, so he generally doesn't have problems. I mean, I guess he could be keeping it from me, but I try to check in with him and I always tell him, you know, let me know, because I will go up to that school and I will beat up everybody if they bother you. But anyway. Maybe that's why he don't tell me, because he don't want his mama to go up there and get beat up. But anyway, it hasn't been bad. Middle school's been okay. This, I hope, 8th grade will be, we are trying to set ourselves up for a good year. I'm woosahing and trying to stay calm and hoping that this will be a normal year, because I really believe 6th and 7th were both crisis education years, and maybe this will be still a little bit, but maybe more toward normal. That's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping he has a successful year, that we all have a successful year, and then we can go into high school super confident. But anyway, that's it, guys. A little bit of chat and working on the Granny Square on National Granny Square Day. I will see you guys in the next video, and I will talk back soon. Bye.